hope you're having a good day. I have had a pretty busy morning. I just went to the supermarket and had a bit of lunch. But this morning I did some Pilates, which was nice. I was working on getting my last YouTube video live, and what else? Got myself ready, which took forever because I'm having a identity crisis with my wardrobe at the moment. But I'm actually really happy with the outfit I put together. I turned to good old Pinterest and actually typed in outfit ideas using with like cream pants, and then just like scrolled through and saw, and then kind of like pulled out pieces that I already own from my wardrobe, and I was like, oh yeah, I can work with that. So let me show you the outfit that I landed on, because I'm very happy with it. I also have some cute sandals I was wearing before, but they're upstairs now. And I know what you're thinking, is that not literally just a tank top and pants that you wear literally every single day? And yes, it is. It literally is. But I actually have never paired like this tank top and these pants before, and I usually also don't wear belts. I'm very lazy when it comes to dressing, so I don't usually put a whole lot of effort into my accessories, but I think that's what I need to work on. I think that's where I like struggle the most with getting dressed, is that I don't have cute accessories. I have good basics, but there's nothing to like jazz up the outfit. I like really lack good shoes, good bags, like hats, jewelry, like belts, all of that stuff, all of that. I think I need to work on that. I'm just about to grab my laptop and work on a job application. So that's gonna take me a good couple of hours, I imagine. Oh, I'm just procrastinating. I've just been procrastinating all day. I do not feel like doing this. If you've ever had the misfortune of job hunting, then you'll know you get in that, it's an absolute slog of searching through all the job boards and then trying to like pinpoint which ones would be best, and then like once you find ones you do want to apply for, then you've got to sort out your CV and like write a new cover letter for all of them, and get the keywords right and make it make sense. And like I see these ads and I think, oh my gosh, I'd be so good, this would be such a good fit. I love what they're saying, I can see it, totally can see it. Then I try to write that, and I'm like, how do I, it just seems like there's got to be a better process than this like snail mail writing letters to each other. Like, you want someone to work for you, I want to work for you. Let's figure out a better system to make this happen, to match us up. Like dating app for jobs. Would that work? Something like that. Someone make that happen. Like, swipe right please, and then we can go on a date, well, an interview. And then I don't have to like fill out these applications every single time that say almost the same thing, but not quite. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bribe myself maybe with a matcha this afternoon. So anyway, I think I am gonna stop talking and I'm going to grab my laptop and start working on this letter. Wish me luck. Teeny tiny little persimmons. We found this bag on the side of the road in our neighborhood. Someone had just put out, they've obviously got a persimmon tree in their garden, and they just put out a big bag like full of them, and said they were free to take, which I love. I love when people do that. It's so cute, so wholesome. I'm obsessed with these. I kind of want to give them a try. If you've not had a persimmon before, how do I describe it? It's like such a strange fruit. It's like kind of maybe like an apple crossed with like a tomato. I don't think I'm doing them justice at all. But yeah, I thought maybe we could try one together. That's what the inside looks like. Kind of looks like a kiwi fruit. They do have sometimes quite big pips, and you can eat the skin if you like to, or you can peel it. But yeah, that's what it looks like. That's not focusing. That's what it looks like. Oh, oh, that's got, what is that kind of flavor? No, oh, that is not nice. The only way I can describe that is that it's like, it feels like it's sucking like all of the moisture out of my mouth. That is horrible. Okay, well, usually they taste really good. I don't know if these are like not ripe yet. That might be the case. I'm gonna leave the other ones for a bit longer and see if they get better, but that's really gross. I'm so sorry. I thought that was gonna go so much better than it did. But I just remembered I also bought some ruby red kiwi fruit. So hopefully this goes better. It does feel kind of firm. I hate when kiwi fruit is mushy. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Look at this. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness. I wonder if it tastes different. I'm really curious about this. I wonder if it's going to be more like a green kiwi fruit or a gold kiwi fruit. I'm guessing it almost looks like a bit like a raspberry. That's so cool. I think it's going to taste more like a gold kiwi fruit. I'm more of a green girl myself. I like kind of sour fruit. Yeah, that tastes exactly like a gold kiwi fruit. It's like sweet. Maybe the flavor's like slightly different. It's probably like a little bit less sweet than a gold kiwi fruit. But like for the aesthetics, for the vibe, okay. Well, thanks for joining me for my fruit taste test. Really good this morning. I just did a workout that was very challenging. It was a leg workout. I'm really trying to push myself with my workouts this year. I think I got a little bit in a rut or like stagnant and just like, I don't know, I just wasn't challenging myself enough, and now I'm like really trying to make an effort this year to challenge myself again. So I'm like picking up heavier weights and all that good stuff, and that felt really good. To be honest, this morning I was not feeling so good. I was feeling really anxious this morning. So there's this job that I was writing an application for yesterday. I think it just hit me though last night as I was going to bed, as that always happens when you're like trying to get to sleep, your brain starts playing games with you and running you through just worst case scenarios, or not even worst case scenarios, it's just like thinking through every single like change that's going to happen and like how big and scary and overwhelming it feels to step into a new role. And I'm just imagining like the first day of school and like not knowing anyone and everyone's strangers, and there's so much to learn, you know, like working for a company. I haven't done that before. I haven't worked for this company. I don't even have the job yet, but you know, I'm already like imagining all these scenarios of like, how am I going to cope? How can I do this? And just getting like wound up, stressing about, yeah, like all of those things. And I think it's hard because I feel anxious about the idea of being unemployed and not having work, and like wondering where that work's going to come from and what it's going to look like and if it's possible, and you know, all of that is very like anxiety inducing. And then so is the thought of the thought of finding work. Then I'm like, oh no, like equal parts, if I find work then I have to like show up and actually do it, and I'm like, oh my god, how do I do that? Can I do that? Oh, how am I going to cope? All of that. That was the spiral that I was heading in. So yes, I was feeling really anxious, and I decided to sit down with my journal, which was a very good decision by me. And I just was writing all of those thoughts out, and then I actually had a little like exercise come to mind for myself, where I could actually like list out examples of situations in the past where I have like found something, you know, that was really challenging, really scary, really hard, but I did it. I pushed through, I overcame it. I can look back at it now and be like, wow, that was so hard, that's incredible that I did that. So I made this list of like all of these things like that, you know, of moving out of home and moving to a brand new city and not knowing anyone and making new friends, and like going to classes and graduating and like, you know, passing all of those courses that was so hard, and moving back up to Auckland and starting our life over here and starting my business, and every single like client that I've worked with and thing that I've tackled, you know, over the past like 5 years. It made me really emotional actually, like listing all of that stuff out and thinking about like, wow, my brain is so quick to tell me like that the situation's really scary and that I can't do it, but then like look at all these examples of things that I have done, have overcome, and yeah, it made me really proud. I thought that was a really good exercise. So if you are also feeling anxious, that could be something that's helpful for you, just to remind yourself that like you actually can do it, and because you have done so many hard things in the past, and it's possible, and you can do it again. So yeah, that made me feel a lot better as well. Now I'm just getting myself ready for the day. Autumn recipe. I have a bucket list of recipes I want to make this autumn, and top of that list is these brown butter pumpkin snickerdoodles. I have been wanting to make these for months. The Maddie from the Bad broadcast recommended them in American autumn, and I have been wanting to make them ever since. They look so amazing, and I'm so excited that today we're making them. It seems like a bit of a process, but it's going to be worth it. And just put on paper towel, which feels wrong. I'm nervous about this. I'm literally just squeezing. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. She did say to use super extra strength paper towel. Maybe I should have used a few more sheets. Oh my god, what a mess. What a mess. What a mess. I actually wonder if using a tea towel would be better than this. We're going to try that again with a tea towel. that I don't care about turning orange, and see if that works better. God, I'm just a little concerned. Oh no, it is coming off. I'm a little concerned that we're going to end up with like paper towel in our pumpkin here. Okay, let's try. Let's try it again. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, the pumpkin's still coming through.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm running up stones on the edge of the bend. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm buried beneath the sand. There's no way to speak.
Hello, it's a few days later and I just had such a nice little bath. So good. I was really struggling to get into my book though. I've been reading The 3 Lives of KK and the premise sounded really good, but I have just been struggling. I'm like a quarter of the way, maybe not quite, like 15%, and I just can't get into it. So I ended up just sitting in the bath with my thoughts, not reading like I intended to. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to give up on this book and move on to something else. I've got a whole stack. I have a whole list of books I'm excited to read. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about some books I've read recently that I did really like. The first one was How to Age Disgracefully, which is basically about where there's this community hall and there's a like senior group and a like daycare group and a bunch of other groups, and they all like use this community hall. The council wants to knock it down, and the like senior group and the daycare group kind of like come together to put on a bit of a like performance and like try to save the community hall and just It's really like sweet and wholesome and a very like comforting, easy kind of read. I liked this one because the way that she wrote the elderly characters was so good in particular. And she made a note at the end of her book, which I loved, where she was saying that a lot of the times like elderly characters are kind of like written as really like helpless and like confused and lost, and she wanted to write elderly characters that were really like strong and could teach us a lot, which I loved. So that was really, really cute. All of these were 4-star reads for me. The next one was Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. She's a thriller author, and I've read a couple of hers and enjoyed them. So this was her latest release, and this was basically, this one gripped me immediately. So the idea was basically that her husband left one morning, left this like cryptic note. Later on she discovers that he's part of a hostage situation, but he's not one of the hostages, he is the criminal, like the person holding everyone hostage. And it's just this story of kind of like how that happened and what was going on behind the scenes. And it's, yeah, like I will say, I think partway in the middle maybe I was getting a little bit like bored. It wasn't gripping me as much, but the ending was so good. And what I loved about this one is that sometimes thrillers have like this dark or like creepy, like uncomfortable sort of undertone to them, where this one definitely had like some dark elements, but I loved the thread or like the theme kind of running through it was a romance as well, and it was just like such a beautiful romance story. So I really loved that. And then the one that I read most recently was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. And I was cracking up as I saw Elise Myers say on her Instagram stories that every time she was going to read this book, she kept like trying to wipe the cover because it looked like there was a hair on it. I'll put a picture and you'll see what I mean, because I did the same thing, so I thought that was really funny. But anyway, the premise of this one was that there's this late night radio show with a host on it who's a guy, and he gets people, like listeners, to call in and share their sort of like romance troubles, woes, that kind of stuff, and he's a bit of a cynic. And this lady who's the female lead calls in, or her daughter kind of like calls in on her behalf, and shares a bit about her story and that she's wanting to date and whatnot. And it's this like story of the two of them and her quest for love and him trying to believe in love again. And so it's like really, you know, a real like romance classic, but really they had a lot of depth to them, which I really appreciate. I'm not always a fan of romances because they can often be just a little bit surface level, but this one had like a lot of depth, and I thought was really a sweet story, and like had some great banter as well. It was funny and clever, which I really loved. So yeah, those are some books that I've loved recently. And if you also love books or enjoy this, or enjoy kind of seeing people recapping or reviewing what they're reading, and you'd like to see more, you can follow me over on Instagram, because I always link the books that I've read and give a little like overview and ranking of those. I've been doing that and saving them as a highlight. I also wanted to give you an update on the cookies that I made, because I realised I forgot to even share how those went. They tasted really nice. The mixture was definitely a bit more like wetter than it was supposed to be, so I was quite nervous about how they were going to turn out, but they were delicious, so highly recommend giving those a go. Yeah, they were really yum. I'm definitely going to try it again, and next time like try to squeeze out more of that pumpkin moisture. And I don't know how you're supposed to do that with using a paper towel like she recommends. Maybe like New Zealand paper towels are just really weak, I don't know, but I just made such a mess. I don't know if it comes across what a chaotic experience that was and how much of a mess I made. but they were delicious, so it's worth it.